To you, I will be fine. To you, and I will be fine. Woohoo! Yeah, this is Dr. Victorine Bongshu, expanding your knowledge on budgeting in real life. Okay, we're not talking about the budgeting that you hear in stories. We are talking about you and me, our budgeting, given our realities. Let's talk budgeting, baby. Yes, for adults, for young learners, or young people, or young workers, or beginners. You know, I live in reality. That thing that the people are telling you that save 10%, save 20%, yes, it's very real if your reality allows. But for me, I always find that people's realities are different. So as much as I use myself and other people that I know as case studies, use this model and apply it to your reality. So always consider your reality. For me, what works is simplicity. Simplicity is very, 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 very easy. I don't like copying people's life. I like learning from people's experiences and implementing in my own reality. And I advise everybody to do the same, because your realities will never be the next person. So the first thing that I want us to talk about when we are talking about our real life budgeting is that we should make budgeting simple. There is the 80-20 rule, there is an 60-20-20, there is a 40-30-30. Many people have different rules that they follow for their budgeting. But my model that I follow is the 50-30-20. What is that? I allocate 50% to look after my needs, because for me survival is very important. So 50% of my earnings goes to look after food of my family earning. Let me correct myself, because I'm a family woman. It goes after our basic food or day-to-day food. It goes after our housing. It goes on to our transport, our utilities, school fees, health, and many other things that I cannot name here. So always make sure that if you have not paid for these, you are wrestling on a match that you can never win. So you will be wrestling. Is it wrestling or racing? Whatever it is, but you will be in a match, a wrestling match with life that you will not win if you don't look after these things first. So you cannot put food for tomorrow, then your family will not be fed, for instance. You cannot put housing for tomorrow, and then where do you stay? Or do you want to stay with your parents? My children, you're not going to stay with me. Please start looking after your own selves. Yes, and then 30%, because security is very important for me. That is why I put up to 50% for my security. And then 30%, it goes for other things. Those are my want. Yeah. As much as I want to keep money away, as much as I want to do other things, I also want to live. Life is short. So what I do is I allocate 30% to my family enjoyment. We allocate 30% to our enjoyment. What does that do? It takes care of our externals, which is clothes, which is going out to eat. We do it like once in 3 years. If my children see this video, that's what they will tell you. We eat out like once in 3 years. It's for entertainment. Yes, we do host now and then. It's for my beauty. You can see how beautiful I look, and my grooming, and that of my family as well. It's for our data. It's for our weekend things that the children cook up every day. I put as much as 30% here, because we are a big family. We are a family of 6, and anything can happen anytime. Some people have 20% here, some people have 10%. There is no one who has nothing at all. And remember, clothes are not something you buy often. So this 30% might look big, but but there are also many. So enjoyment is allowed, but not at the expense of your future. When I say life is too short, live the life, I'm not saying you should give away your future. And then 20% for us now is for savings or investment. I call it building a future. We save it the 20% we keep it away to build our future. So we put it in our savings. We max out our emergency fund, which is usually 6 months of our spending. We invest. We really don't have retirement, but we do have properties that go as our retirement. And then a sinking fund, which is for things that we did not expect to happen. You can call it emergency fund, but I don't want to call it emergency because emergency fund is different. So we keep away money for all of these, and I want you to know that the one who saves never run dry. So if you save water, you never run dry. If you save water, you never run thirsty. I mean, this is an African proverb where I come from in Befang. It says, the person who saves water never runs thirsty. So even the desert is dry. If you have a pot of water that you've been saving, you cannot be thirsty because you'll go drink your water. And the realities of this budgeting that I've just given you does not apply to most Africans, because in Africa, as much as you can plan for yourself, there's always what we call black tax, where you have responsibility to the family that is not your own family. An uncle has died or is sick, or an auntie's house has collapsed, or something, or your parents, you're supporting your parents, or your sibling is coming up. I can see now in my house, my children are already supporting each other. They buy gifts for each other when they travel or when they go out, and all those things. And then there are ceremonies. There's circumcision ceremony that is quite popular in South Africa. There's a tombstone. There are weddings. All those things come in, not budgeted for, not planned for, because they are not happening to you. They are black taxes. So when you're doing your budgeting, you can see that my 50, 30, 20 did not include all of that, which is why there is a need for extra income. There is a need for you to earn extra so that this is taken care of, because you have to budget this. Otherwise, it will kill you emotionally. It will kill you physically when you're not able to support your extended families. Remember, the African structure is that we pay that tax because it was paid to us. So for me, for instance, and I think you listening to this now, many people had contributed to your upbringing. So you now, in a way, either pay it forward by contributing to those who never contributed to you, or sustaining those who did sustain you. So you have to allocate that, because family, they do expect it. It's an African culture. It's a culture in many other background that we have to budget for ourselves, but we have to also budget for others. And then you also have to budget for other life things. You have to consider, other things that happen in life, which could be things like external friends' birthdays, which could be things like friends' engagement parties or weddings, which could be things like baby showers, getaway trips that is not for your family, but you're doing it with friends. Remember that in Africa, we have not Africa, the world over actually, we have social pressures that come in, but we also have a community living where you look after the next person, so you never know. Even your club member might need something, and you can never pour from an empty pot. So you have to have your pot filled so that you can pour to others. And even if your own pot is filled, people do again pour onto you. So you don't operate in an empty pot at all, because you want to pour onto others, but you also want to be in a position where when others are pouring, you're not absorbing because you're too dry. So what I'm trying to do in my presentations is to create habits, right? So try and change your budgeting from being a task to becoming a habit. Budget for a living. When you budget for a living, budgeting becomes really, really easy for you, in the sense that you don't need to struggle to budget. And what you can do is, before your money arrives, you already know what you're spending on, before payday, or before the income hits your account or hits your hands. Don't let money disappear. Money has that tendency of going away. Plan for that money before it comes, so that when it comes, you know where to allocate. If you did not consider the community living, if you did not consider the black tax, if you did not consider your social friends when you were doing your 50, 30, 20, then it's high time you start reconsidering, redo your budget. And remember that a budget is not fixed. A budget is fluid, meaning you should review it weekly, daily, monthly, how you see possible, and then automate it. Then when you spend on things that are not in your budget, or even those that are in your budget, track them. It's very important to track, because once you track, you can know the holes. Remember, as you're going along the way, there are some holes. For instance, you pay an Uber once a month or twice a month, even though you have a car, or you stop somewhere with a group of friends, they're buying coffee, you bought coffee, even though you have coffee at home, and even though you've just drank coffee. This is not pressure. These are leakages. So if you have those leakages, if you always review, you'll be able to tell where those leakages are, and then you'll handle them. Reward yourself when you're very disciplined. When you follow your 50, 30, 20 diligently, take yourself out and pay yourself for doing that in a way that you see fit. Even if it's sleeping, you do that. If it's going out for more coffee, you do that. If it's just visiting a friend, you do that. If it's just saying, congratulations, Victorine, you did it. Do that. Reward yourself, because once you get into the habit of rewarding yourself, and then you also get into the habit of being modest. Use apps. If you struggle, you can use apps. Life has been made so easy for us these days. We have apps that you can do. I mean, just a simple Google spreadsheet. You can track everything there. Just a simple Excel. I use Excel. I'm not a sophisticated woman at all. But you can also use your banking app if you're not a cash person. Or you use the envelope method, either digitally or buy a book, a physical envelope. And when your money comes, you split into those envelopes and you go in there to use them as need be. You can use an app on your phone. You can use a budgeting notebook on your phone again, or actually buy the physical book and you're jotting down things. I have a physical that I write my rental collections in. Helpful things for you to do is to categorize your spending, is to have an alert when you overspend, automate every feature, everything that you do, have a transaction breakdown and look at it often, and then track everything that you spend on. For those of you who love the school method, I don't think schools teach finance, but anyway, I'll say it. Make sure that you have one envelope for transport, another one for other things like grocery, another one for family, another one for expenses, another one for trouble fund, another one for another one for another one for, so that you know exactly how much is here, how much is being spent. And let me give you a secret. Each time that you don't finish money in one envelope by the end of the month, put that money into your savings or investment account. If your savings has not reached its maximum, put it in your savings account. If it has reached, invest it, or you split it. If it's 100 rand, you put 50 in your savings, 50 in your investment. Do not leave it in there when you get to the end of the month. Okay, so I would just like you to take budgeting as a bodyguard to your dreams. Use budgeting as a bodyguard to your dreams. You can comment below. Tell me how you've been budgeting before now. Tell me how it's been working for you in your dynamics, in the dynamics of your culture. Tell me how it's not worked. Tell me how you can improve it, how you have improved it, what we can learn. It's very important. I'm not here to teach anyone. I'm here to remind you of the things that you've not been consistent at doing, so that you can start doing, because that is what I'm doing to myself. As I'm teaching you, I'm learning. So please go ahead, share with somebody that you think that we can teach and learn from as well. And please subscribe. Let's keep going. Thank you so much.